Hey up everybody, how are we doing today? Welcome to another stream, World of Tanks console. Thank you very much to Renegade Central, who just came in from his stream. I'm joined today with PainGod and Tanksars. How are we both doing?
Good, it's finally warming up.
Oh, it is. Yeah, we were just talking about that offset.
It's a little too warm for me. That's what I'd say.
Crazy weather.
Not that I get to go outside.
I
can just look at it through the window and save on my heating bill.
The weather confuses me here though, because I look outside and the weather is grey. There's literally clouds everywhere and it is stonking hot outside. It's crazy. All right. I know you guys are here for Intel, and I'm really glad that we've been able to, get you all here today for this. Just to introduce us into the stream. Back in December, we made some promises to you guys that we're going to look at some really important community things. I hope you guys really appreciate us taking some time on those things. They're really important issues. By the end of the stream, hopefully, we'll be able to give you some closure on some of those things. And over the next few weeks as well, we'll learn even more about what's going to happen with these things. So today, we're going to be talking about 3 of those community issues that you guys really like to know more about. Matchmaking, we're going to be talking about artillery, we're going to be talking about some maps and some other things as well. But to start us off, I'm hearing that we have a new game mode that's coming. And what can we talk about with that, PainGod?
Well, some. So how about that countdown this morning to nothing? Sorry about that, guys. Not everything always goes to plan, but I'm here to give you information on what some of the things that are coming up in the next big update, and really our plans for the rest of the year. As Mentos just mentioned, we're adding a mode to the game, and I know some of you have been around when we've tested different things in the live game, and we've definitely heard the feedback, like make it its own mode, don't change the core gameplay of the current game, and we really heard that loud and clear. So we're creating a whole new mode for the game, and in that mode, we're going to experiment with a bunch of things that we've been talking about for some things for a long time. We're going to have both competitive and cooperative versions of this mode. So players can play competitively against other players, or go in and explore around against AI with their friends. Sorry, I had to make a bunch of notes so I don't forget anything.
We have a lot to talk about today, definitely.
But yeah, we want to be able to introduce new things to the game without upsetting the core game. And then if those things are liked and really wanted and desired in the core game, sure, then we can move them over there. Or maybe they grow and continue to be 2 different modes. It's really, in addition to the game that's going to have lots of content and lots to do, and that's, we have planned out for well past a year from now. So we're excited to be able to start talking about it. In later streams, you'll be getting more and more detail. I'm sure eventually we'll post articles and all that stuff. But wanted to announce, to you directly today that we're adding the mode. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just to talk to you guys in the chat. Don't worry, we're going to answer all these questions today. So I'm interested in the fear of the unknown. We're kind of like mysteriously building this up now, but we'll definitely be able to get into why and what are the features of this new game mode as well. For you guys to just hang in there and we'll get there.
Yeah, this is really going to allow us to experiment with all types of gameplay changes, equipment consumables. One of the first things we decided to attack with this is not to include arties in this mode. This is just purely tanks on tanks at this time.
Yeah, so that's something which is attractive to this mode. So we're going to be introducing a new game mode, and that new game mode, one of the features of it is that there will be no artillery in it. One of the questions that I know for exactly that the players are going to be asking, looking down at the chat, and they are asking that, is this just completely separate from World War II, or is this, will I be able to play artillery in World War II still, essentially?
Oh, absolutely. We're not changing anything about the core game. This will be its own mode. However, share as much as possible between the modes. So we're not inventing a new currency so we can get more money out of you or anything. Gold is gold and silver is silver, and it'll all work the same in either mode that you want to play, or any of the 3 modes that you want to play. So, and we're not retiring any tanks or taking anything away from you. The new mode's going to be, completely independent and stand on its own.
Excellent stuff. And so that is something definitely that we spoke about in December. So I've been here for nearly a year now, and one of the big things that we've never been able to really kind of answer until this point is like what is artillery. We do have a lot of players that love to play artillery, and we can't just take that away, but we can try something new with this new game mode, and it'll just be tanks and tanks. And I know a lot of you guys like that. But like PainGod said as well, it will not affect anything to do with the World War II core mode. It's our bread and butter. It's so important to us. It's it's what has built the foundations for us to move on and look at some extra things that we can do. So excellent. Are we able to go into kind of why we decided to try no artillery in this new game mode?
It's always been a controversial part of the game from the very beginning. I can even say on 360 7 years ago, we strongly considered not putting artillery in the game to begin with, but even within our own studio, some people like to play as artillery players, so we put it in. And sometimes I go, man, if I could just go back in time, would I at least delete artillery or not put it in the game or anything? We're like, well, there's a new mode. What are players' biggest complaints, right? Like artillery, matchmaker. So matchmaker is another thing we're going to try in the new mode. We're going to group tanks with similar power levels into eras, and matchmaking will only happen to that era. So a high level tank in the first era will never play with more powerful tanks in the second era. So it's a new way of trying matchmaking, also to make the teams more balanced and matchmaker be as quick as possible. Is reducing some of that complexity of all the different variables that's in the current game. But it's an experiment, like I said. We'll be trying it, listen to your feedback. If it works, great, and we really want to put it in classic WOT, all those possibilities are there.
Amazing stuff. So essentially, yeah. For you guys in the chat, we're talking about a new feature that's going to be coming into this the new game mode, and it's called era-based matchmaking. And so, like PainGod just said, it's making sure that there's like a level playing field for tanks. It's something. One of the biggest things that I've learned from coming into this job, into this community, into this studio, is that community is really important. We'll definitely be appreciative of your feedback and stuff like that. Hammer me when this does come out. Let me know what you think, and then if it's something that we'd like to see, in the future in World War II, we can definitely have those conversations and stuff. But one thing that I've learned here is that it's a very yes studio. Let's try. Let's try and adjust things. I really saw that in December. A lot of. How many are we allowed to talk about? How many adjustments that were made from December 15th until this point? Kind of a ballpark figure. PainGod?
I lost count after 480.
So
I was tracking them all, but between bug fixes and improvements and changes, I know since between 6.0 and 6.1, so between December and help me out here, end of February?
Yeah,
it was over 400 changes.
Yeah, So and that just kind of reinforces the fact that I know that that feedback was really important to us. It was overwhelming at times. I have thousands and thousands of messages from the community, but we were able to adjust some really important things. So let me hit me up with this as well once we get it going, and we'll learn more about it over the coming weeks. But yeah, everything is kind of up for conversations. So kind of just to wrap up that little segment, there's a new game mode coming. This new game mode is separate from World War II. It has no artillery in this game mode. That doesn't affect World War II. It's going to be, the matchmaking is going to be in era-based matchmaking, to make sure that these, the tanks are kind of on a as level of playing field as it can be. And again, that's not affecting World War II. And yeah, there's some other things that we've got to talk about as well. I'm hearing that we've got some new consumable types that might be coming into this mode as well.
Yes. Again, things that we've wanted to play with or have played with in the past. We're putting into this game mode to try them out, to get your feedback. One of them, some of you probably participated, in a test where we changed up the vision system so that tanks were never invisible and popping out. That vision mode is full time in the new game mode, and it's also allowing us to add cool new things like a smoke grenade consumable, so that you can actually defeat the vision, of your foes. So playing with that, we're looking at adding more info to the enhanced target information. Let's see. Also repair. We're introducing hole patch kits as consumables that will repair a percentage of your armor over time. Not a great amount. It's not like game unbalancing, but it's just enough to get you. I got to get that one more shot off. I live across the battlefield.
It is something that myself and all my community super testers and the super testers all tested. So smoke and hole patch, it was something that it worked in this mode. So I'm not worried about it at all. I think you guys will appreciate that as well. I think that things like smoke really works in this game mode is because there's going to be significantly larger maps, I believe.
Yes, as I talked about, I think last week we made 4 brand new, much larger maps, almost twice the size of the current maps in the game. You've seen some sneak peeks and previews and stolen videos that I did. Those maps are really, really tuned for this new gameplay mode and to these new abilities that we're bringing or technologies that we're bringing to the game. I'm told it's exactly 96% more battle area for those that care about that.
So these are huge maps.
Yeah, 1.4 by 1.4 kilometers, roughly.
So huge maps, going to need, things like that to get around. When we tested it as well, it kind of really made sense. And these were actually some of the things that I was most excited about with previewing all of this before we got to this point. So with these new maps, obviously it offers players different ways